YouTube Nation, Manfit TV, aka Me TV, aka the Broad Street Ball. Look, y'all can tell by my demeanor today already. I'm not in the fucking mood, all right? Especially what has, transpired in the previous 24 hours, all right? Yeah, I'm pissed off. And I'm talking about this. And it's not just because the Phillies, all right? But because the way sports fans have acted on both sides. And I'm going to talk about that shit, all right? But also understand that the media as well has really gotten under my skin because of all the ass kissing, and we're going to address that as well. Like I said, this is not just going to be about ranting today and calling people names. No, you're going to get that as well. But I need to start with the Phillies right now, and I'm going to talk about this and the horrible moves they made with Shane Victorino and Hunter Pence. So let's get into this. First off, we found out the news that Shane Victorino was being traded. Now understand, 3 weeks ago the Phillies came out and said to Shane Victorino, relax, you're not being traded. We're going to keep the core intact. That's what they told him, meaning they lied. They pulled the flyers. So already Philly fans should be upset. But you know what I've been seeing on Twitter? Oh no, we're going to miss Shane, but it's okay with the organization. It's not okay. They have to be held accountable for their lying. Now, I will put it like this. I know a lot of people will come out and say, oh, well, athletes get traded all the time, and I don't want to hear it. I don't. They sat here and, as a man, gave them his word and then stabbed them in the back. You want these athletes to be loyal. You want them to be fan favorites. You want them to sell all this merchandise, but then you want to stab them in the back. Then you wonder why athletes only think about themselves. That's the sad part. You are setting this up to fail. Now, I need to talk about Hunter Pence real quick, all right? Because listen, I'm going to break this down. Hunter Pence was brought into Philadelphia last year. Now, mind you, he only played half a season last year at the end of the season, all right? Brought him in to replace Jason Worth. That's why he was brought in. Now, for those who remember Jason Worth here was pretty much a staple in the core of the Phillies offense. You're bringing him in to replace Jason Worth, meaning he is now part of the core offense. You understand that, right? I know a lot of people are going to say, but he was due $15 million last year. I mean next year. I don't want to hear it. I don't, all right? They knew what they were getting themselves into. This is the front office. Once again, you knew what you were getting yourself into. Why would you go and get this guy for a half a season last year and then let him play a half a season this year and get rid of him, all right? It makes no sense. If that's the problem, I'll put it like this. You're going to have problems with the front office. Obviously, they went and got these moves. And what did I tell you guys before? Huh? What did I tell you? When they started making all these big moves, what did I say? Where the hell are they getting this money from? Where are they getting this money from? It makes no sense. None of it. You brought this guy in to replace him to be here for a number of years because you were trying to sign Jason Worth to a multi-year extension. Were you not? And he left and went to the Nationals, which I don't blame Jason Worth because you see the money he threw at him, all right? But you have to understand that that was the reason Hunter Pence came here. He played good last year. He destroyed the Giants last year. And I'm talking about you Giants fans, all right? He destroyed the Giants last year, all right? And Giants fans hated him for it. And then what you do? You trade him. You trade him to San Francisco, which makes no sense. So now the same Giants fans that sat here and said, I hate Hunter Pence, now that's we love Hunter Pence. You have to be kidding me. And the same thing with Shane Victorino, all right? You trade him to the Dodgers, and Dodgers fans, and Dodgers fans, all right, for the last 5 years, you have been pissed off at Shane Victorino because in the clutch, he would crush you guys. And we're talking about back when the rivalry just started, when y'all had Manny, okay? So now it's, I hated Shane Victorino, but now that you got him, it's okay. The Phillies have to also understand that you just stacked the Dodgers deck. Because they just went out and got Hanley Ramirez, and now you just gave him Shane Victorino. So now they have an outfielder. The Giants, they have an outfielder now, Hunter Pence. I don't care who called who or how the deals were set up. It's done. It's that simple. I don't care, all right? But it shouldn't have happened in the first place. These moves make no sense. Understand that we got nothing that we needed from either team, all right? We know, for Phillies fans, most of our games lost this year came from what? The bullpen. Did we get that? No. We didn't get any bullpen relief, really. No, we didn't. We got Shearholz. You have to be kidding me, all right? Now look what they're doing. They're playing musical chairs in the outfield. Yeah, Lance Nick's out there. They brought up Dominic Brown, which, mind you, they had said earlier this year that Dominic Brown would not be brought up to the major league level because he's not ready for the big leagues. Understand that. That's what Ruben Amaro Jr. said, all right? So now they're going back on their word. The Phillies are desperate. That's what it comes down to. And I'm getting real sick and tired of seeing you fans, all right? Now, we're going to talk about this right now, all right? This makes no sense because there's also talks of trade of Cliff Lee getting traded and Juan Pierre getting traded. Mind you, Juan Pierre has had a good season with us. Why you trade him makes no sense. You're just getting rid of, pretty much you got a bunch of utility guys out there right now playing in outfield. All right, the Phillies season is over. Mind you, Phillies fans, because all you guys are saying that these trades were great and that, this is something that we can look for the future on prospects. I want to talk about this. Okay, because you should know, this is the same team last year that was priming you guys hyped up to go to the World Series. Now you're going to tell me since they're having a bad year, we should just blow up the team? Like I said, if this is contract problems, then this is a front office problem. They knew what they were getting themselves into, and they could have easily talked to them about restructuring contracts. And if you say, well, they wouldn't go for that, that is their job to renegotiate. If they can't do their job, then they need to go. Don't you understand that? What is with all these damn excuses? I don't understand this. Look, you can't sit here and say the Phillies did right. They lied. They pretty much got rid of players that didn't need to go. I'm not trying to, they wouldn't have got anything for Victorino. I'm sure he would have took a contract for all the work that he has done here. And I'm not just talking about, baseball. I'm not just talking about that. If you'd have offered him the right amount of money, he would have stayed. All right, he has done a lot for this city, and we're talking charitable type of things. He just built a basketball court out in Nicetown not too long ago. So I'm not trying to hear he didn't love the city. He loves Philadelphia. He did not want to go. Obviously, the Phillies are thinking we can get more for it, but you didn't get, like I said, you didn't get anything for him. I'm not going to be mad at Giants fans for the trade. No. I'm not going to be mad at Dodgers fans for the trade. No, because they made out. They did what they had to do. All right, so that's not the problem I have. But you also have to understand that the Phillies have given up. Now, if you think, because I've seen a lot of Phillies fans say this, oh, well, these trades will actually help us, and MLB said this too, on their channel. They're trying to make a push for the playoffs. What don't you understand? We are, 15 games out? We are not making a run. The season is over. Don't you understand that this season is pretty much a mulligan? That's why you just sat there and you kept your core intact like other teams have done. Every baseball team has a core intact other than those that really lose badly. And I put it like this, and I hate to use this example, but the Yankees always have kept their core intact, and then what would they do? Add players to their roster. And then this is the problem with the Yankees, though, that people have, because then they start adding players with big-time names and big-time money that they really don't need. That's what it comes down to. All right, we just saw this with Ichiro not too long ago. Now, I put it like this. The Phillies and other teams have done this in the past, all right? And a lot of Giants fans I've noticed, I have to talk about this, all right? Because after I saw that video yesterday, all right, y'all know what I'm talking about, where he freaked out and he's just throwing stuff and carrying on. Look, when I liked that video and I pushed that on Twitter, what did I do? I laughed about it because that's what it was for. It was for, entertainment purposes. And then you have all these fucking idiots come in, of course, Giants fans, who take this way too seriously, all right? You start threatening to punch the kid, and you guys are adults, husbands and wives, and you're jumping on a 17-year-old kid. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're getting this upset over a sports video. Get the fuck off the internet. Get off. What is wrong with you? You have to also understand that you clowns run your mouths. You have to say, you fell for the okie doke, all right? Because what he does is trash talk. That's what he does. It's an entire trash talk circle. What haven't you understood? For the previous 2 years, you have not understood this concept, all right? They do hate series all the time. Don't you understand that? So it means they're going to say something bad about the team, and then when the series is over, they make a wager, and then when the series is over, the loser has to drink like Tabasco sauce or something. That's what they do. Don't you understand that? Are you this stupid? And then you go, oh, you're a crying little baby. And this is the comments I'm reading in this video. You're a crying little baby. Look, if you're getting that upset over what he did, then you're the crying baby. Don't you understand? You're the sensitive one. And like I said, Giants fans came out in droves. And I don't understand this because well, the Phillies aren't going to make the playoffs this year and we're going to the World Series. Where were you last year? Where were you? Because the Giants didn't make the playoffs last year, like I predicted. And the thing is, it's not all you Giants fans. I have to put that, that statement in, because if not, then all of you get your panties in a bunch, all right? But you Giants fans know, I talk to you Giants fans. I talk to you Warriors fans. I talk to you 49ers fans. So it's not all of you. You understand what I'm saying here, all right? But you guys are pathetic. And I mean that for the people who was leaving comments, oh, I'll punch you in the face. Things like, you ain't doing shit. You're not going to do a damn thing. You know it and I know it. Like I said, Giants fans, you need to pipe that shit down. I don't know where the fuck you come from with all this bullshit. Like I said, if you were any man, you would get your face on camera and do the trash talking. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you into the circle. Don't you understand? Baiting you into the circle means that there's more people to talk to. That means if you're a real fan, you'll back your team. Not just go on the comments and be noticed for them. It's stupid. Like I said, this is grown-ass men and women who have children. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Alright? Get the fuck off the internet. Anyways, I need to talk more about you Phillies fans, all right? Because all this apologist bullshit and defending, it has to stop, all right? There is no way, and I've seen some of the dumbest fucking statements, not here on YouTube, no, all right? Because Philly fans, you know, I'm mostly cool with most of you on YouTube, so I don't have a problem with you guys. But on Twitter, every idiot comes out of the woodwork. And I know some of you gonna say, well, Vent, you know, why are you following them? I'm not following them, all right? But people I do follow them, and then they retweet whatever. So I'm telling you guys now, when you're retweeting bullshit from stupid-ass Phillies fans, I'm going to unfollow you or I'm going to stop your retweets because, you know what? I don't have, you know, I'm not going to deal with that stupidity. The things that are said are, if you're mad at the Phillies, you're not a real Phillies fan. Get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck are you to tell someone that they're not a real Phillies fan? If someone's grandmother or grandfather who sees these trades, and I've seen them online, you know, reading, you know, what they're saying they've been a Phillies fan for like 25, 30 years or whatever, and you know, they have grandparents, and they don't like the Phillies, you know, the moves they made, so they're mad right now, and they're walking away. And then you have people on Twitter saying, well, if you're going to walk away, you're not a Phillies fan. And this person's like 16, 17 years old, has no fucking idea what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean? You have to be kidding me. You cannot sit here and tell your elders that they're not fans when they have been there through all the times when they were losing badly and things. You have to understand, like I said, people who understand sports know why you have to keep a core intact. That's what it comes down to. If you're running your fucking mouth about how it's okay, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. You don't. And you need to just calm it down, because obviously your IQ level when it comes to sports is not that great. And the thing is, like I said, I'm talking about Phillies fans right now, not Giants fans, just to show you just how unbiased I'm being, all right? Because a lot of them, I don't even follow a lot of Philly fans, all right? I don't even talk to a lot of Philly fans on Twitter, because a lot of them are fucking stupid, all right? A lot of them are. And they don't represent what the real fan base is about. You have fans going after players and carrying on, and you know damn well you wouldn't say it to their fucking face. You know that shit, but yet you gonna act like you all big, high, and mighty, all right, on fucking Twitter. What the fuck is Twitter? It's nothing. Just because you got 2,000 plus, you know, followers, and you follow 2,000 plus people, don't mean shit. That means you almost batting a 500 ratio. Get the fuck out of here, all right? You're nobody on Twitter. No one gives a fuck about Twitter. If you take this shit too seriously, then guess what? You fell for it. That's what it comes down to. Understand that what these guys do is just trash talk on YouTube just to make it fun. That's it. If you're going around calling them faggots and threatening to punch them, then you're a fucking idiot. You fell for it. Thank you for showing how sensitive you can fucking be. That's what happened. Alright? Same thing with Phillies fans. If I come out and say something, you don't like it, then don't fucking read it. Don't fucking follow me. Don't fucking watch the video. Think I give a fuck? No. Understand that this shit has to change. And you think, oh, he's just talking all tough. No, I'm telling you how I fucking feel. I told you I'm not in the mood, man. I'm not. But it doesn't just stop with the organizations lying. It doesn't just stop with the fans constant ass kissing, you know, because, you know, real fans, if there's a problem, we will point that shit out because we want to see our teams do well. It's not just the fans constantly ass kissing and thinking it's okay. No. Now we got the media coming out and doing all this ass kissing and damage control. And it's not just from the Phillies, but I've been telling you guys for about 3 weeks now about the NBA, about how they're trying to make this World Basketball Championship. Well, apparently, Mike Green from ESPN thinks it's a great idea. Of course, that clown doesn't know what he's talking about as usual. You think he would do some research since it's his profession. It is his profession to do the research before running his mouth. And yet, he didn't do it. Now, here's the sad part about this, all right? Because Greeny has said many times that he doesn't know much about sports, all right? That's why when ESPN tries to put him in a sport and on camera, what is he doing? Dancing and tennis. There's a reason. Okay, because he doesn't know anything about sports. And that's why they put Golick next to him, which I will say is he has tunnel vision, all right? Because he's an ex-football player. All he thinks about is football, football, football. He doesn't know a damn thing. If you listen to him and the things he say, you're like, the fuck, really? Like, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And let's be honest here, all right, with Mike Golick. Like, let's be real, all right? Nobody like Mike Golick until he went in the radio. When he played with the Eagles, nobody cared about Mike Golick, all right? He was the Nick Swisher of the Eagles. That's the comparison I put to him. No one gave a shit about him, for those who don't remember when he played, okay? Now, I will put it like this. When they start talking, and this happened, you had all these sports fans come out of nowhere. Oh my God, he's right. It should be done. Let's retweet. And it took many others and myself to go over there to his Twitter and set the record straight on why it wouldn't. Breakdown by breakdown about revenue and things of that nature. And guess what? Of course, like a little bitch, he didn't respond because he didn't want to make himself look like an asshole. That's what it comes down to, because he got clowned. And here's the thing, all right? Because he responded to everyone else, but he's not going to respond to those. No, because it'll make him look bad, because he works for ESPN. That's what it comes down to. How would you feel if you worked for ESPN, big time professional guy getting clowned by some dude on the internet, right? All right then. So he's not going to, he's not going to respond. But you have these lemmings, because that's what they are at this point. All right, so-called sports fans are lemmings because they're not real sports fans anymore, as far as I'm concerned. It's the sad part because you guys said as well, it's almost like sports and video games. It's like the actual core base is dwindling to these stupid asses, and you're right, it is. All right, that's what it comes down to. These people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about when it comes down to sports. And you just have to just sit back and just be like, fucking stupid. This is why I still do the videos, all right? This is why. Because it needs to be said. You have to be kidding me if you think that these things are okay. Of course they're not going to. The media is not going to say a certain amount of things because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. You understand it, right? So why do you keep listening to them all the time? It makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. There's even guys here on YouTube who try to take it to a media route, all right? And try to do it the same way, cookie cutter, just like the media. No, if you're a fan, say what you gotta say. That's the entire point. But no one wants to do that. No. They just want to run their mouths on Twitter, like a bunch of tough guys, which they're not. And then make these ridiculous statements which make no sense. And then when you give them proof, they say whatever. They run away with their tail between their legs. It makes no sense. None whatsoever. Anyways, I do want to move on. I do. Okay? Because I need to talk about this. This is still sports related. You guys had asked me not too long ago. You wanted to see more of the documentary that I was doing for the city. And I said, fine, I don't have a problem with that. Talk to police and talk to, the youth. Because you know what? The youth are the only people who are willing to talk. All right? As many adults that I talked to, they didn't have time. They didn't want to talk. They didn't want to be on camera. The police didn't want to be on camera because the city frowns upon it. Yeah, but yet the youth knows what's going on in their neighborhoods and how bad these neighborhoods are, okay? And they want change, and yet nobody is willing to change it, even though they're trying to make a change themselves, from them personally in their neighborhood. So let's take a look at that real quick.
No, it's not dead. He's sleeping. That dog's sleeping, man.
What's wrong?
They got some more.
Hey, look right here. Go ahead, say you go.
See, man, that's what I'm talking about. And I have a lot more clips of that. I was just wondering if there's some questions. We're doing a documentary. Oh, I can't. I'm on the phone. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, right. If y'all don't want to do it, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll do it.
All right.
You don't want to do it?
She don't want to do it, see? All right, we were talking about, not too long ago, about the youth and how City Hall is doing renovations, especially in City Hall, but not actually at recreation centers or for kids, for somewhere for them to actually stay off the streets. We was wondering, how you felt about that.
I can speak for myself. I have a job.
Okay.
I'm a up-and-coming entrepreneur, so I can't really speak for everyone. But I mean, I think that there's some bad teens out here. They need somewhere to go. Mm-hmm. They don't have nowhere to go. So that's why they're on the streets, burning out buildings and all that other stuff.
Now, do you think some of that comes from the responsibility from actually the mayor and the city officials?
Yeah, because they waste the money. They can use it for this stuff to keep the kids inside. Keep the kids inside. Home's where the heart is. So keep the kids inside. They won't do nothing wrong.
Okay. About July 4th, did you guys know about what happened with the
Somebody
shooting?
got shot.
We talked to a lot of police officers at the time when we were out there. Of course, none of them would speak on camera to us, but speaking to them, they had said that they couldn't handle the actual situation that happened. Do you think with that situation, do you think they'll be able to handle the Labor Day 3A event coming up?
No, because like the kids here, like nowadays, they're really reckless. Like it's honestly, it's not okay what they're doing. Like I personally think they just need a place to go to. They have nothing else better to do with their lives, so they're just like, well, let's go mess stuff up. That's not okay. Like go find a hobby. I dance all the time. You know, I know people who like invest their time in music. So yeah, and, like I'd rather them not do that, but I don't think they could because of how like everyone comes in a big colony and then just like attacks.
And since it's an open concert, and since the people who are going to be there, everybody wants to see, it's going to be like, oh yeah, let's go jump over the gates. Let's go mob in the middle of the whole concert. Like they're going to ruin it for everybody. That's why I'm not going.
And that's one thing the police had said. They said they were overwhelmed from July 4th. They had said that they didn't have enough manpower. And of course, with the shooting, the concert, and with the protesters that night, they couldn't handle anything. There was times where we saw school buses coming up, and it was just cops were just coming off of school buses. So with the 3-day event, a lot of people feel as though, or at least the mayor and his staff feel that it's going to be a positive thing. But as we've been,
it's not. It's not going to. Maybe for the first day.
Not even the first day.
The first day is gonna be the worst day. The first hour is gonna, and then after that, after people start mobbing down there, it's over. Like it's not.
Do you think the media speaks more on a negative tone all the time, as opposed to not showing you positive things?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to show positive sometimes, especially with the things that are going on. Like teenagers give us a bad rep because we're not all like that. Like people like us, we decide not to join those places. So yeah, they do focus on the negative. That's the easiest part about it. There's not really a lot of positive to focus on when it comes to mobbing.
And that's the thing, when I speak to the mayor, because I've been trying to get meetings with him time and time again, and he keeps pushing us off. That's the first thing that's what started this documentary. He came out on his Twitter and said, young people, yes. They spend more time talking on there, and they try to push positive things on Twitter, but they tend to ignore a lot of negative things that need to be fixed, and that's especially in bad neighborhoods. And that's what this is about, because he came out and said, young people aren't doing their part when it comes to being positive, and that they need to show more, substance. And we were coming out saying, hey, wait a minute, there are a lot of young people. Really? Yeah, like right in the middle. Anyways, there are a lot of young people out there being positive, but of course, they don't get that exposure. That's what we wanted to show today. So, but that's the problem with City Hall so far. We've had so many interviews where people were just like, we hope that they put the money into bad neighborhoods and rec centers and parks and things of that nature, or other programs. As you know, they tried to shut down libraries, and they try to tax soda and all this other stuff. But they'll keep liquor stores open longer, which makes no sense. And as you all know, liquor stores in bad neighborhoods, they don't mix.
Someone's gonna get to it some way.
Exactly. Right. So yeah.
I mean, but we don't want people to be like. I mean, even if we had those programs, I don't think people are going to go. So I know I wouldn't. Why would I go to the rec center?
Well, what programs, especially in school, do you think if it's a specific program that you'd be tailored to, that more people would go to?
It depends. Like.
Well, of course, on the subject of
Of course, it has to draw your attention. We just have to hope that it draws those kids' attention. Like I said, if there was something dance involved, I would jump right on it. But not everybody wants to dance. Not everybody wants to sing. So there's a lot of stuff you never know what they're into. So they're like, oh, since nothing draws my attention, I'm just going to go wreck that because that's what I'm attracted to.
Do you think it also reflects on the dropout rate when it comes to kids dropping out of school?
Because no one's focusing on what you want to do. They take the big picture ideas, like she said, dancing. They won't take little stuff. They don't have time to sit down and be like, what do you want to do, and build programs on different stuff.
So do you think high school, let's say high school, as you get later into the grades, do you think it should be more like a college system where you actually get to pick your classes and go at certain times?
My school is that way. I go to Central, so
okay.
We get selections and whatever we do.
The more electives, the more people are more interested. I find that out, because I go to ENS, and when they offered the biomedical program or the engineering program, people was like, and they offered the anatomy classes and the psychology and stuff. It was more like people actually wanted to be there and do it versus just having just straight math, English, social studies, science.
Okay. All right, now we're going to go into the police station. Since we can't find any cops, we'll come to them. So we'll go right into the police station and see what they have to say. Let's go. Yes, we're doing a documentary. We've been trying to talk to police officers all day on their opinion on things about the city, but all of them keep saying the same thing. Yes, the same thing. Is there something that you're not allowed to, or is just
We don't talk to, we have public relations that doesn't all talk.
okay? So through the website.
The website or you can call City Hall, 686-1776, and ask for police public relations.
Okay, so it's just one spokesman. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Like seriously, all I want is some questions answered. It's not hard, you know what I mean? Like, taxpayers should have their questions answered, but instead we still get the runaround.
Just another example of what I mean why it's taking this documentary so long to come out. I can't get answers, all right? And it's especially, you think you can get some answers from the police, but apparently I can't do that. So now I have to go through their publicist, all right? And now I still have to make a meeting with the chief of police, all right? So hopefully, and then here's the thing. When I talk to them, like to make this meeting, I have to lay out in detail exactly what I'm going to say to him so that he's not ambushed. So you can't get really any raw things. They want everything to be, predetermined, which is garbage. That's not the point of an interview. It's not. If you're not on your toes about things, then guess what? You don't deserve your job. It's really that simple. But this is what I mean, man. This is exactly what I mean. And it's really, maybe it's time to get the media involved. All right. Maybe it's time to start getting a street team together and start doing the extreme acts and when I mean extreme, I mean writing on the billboards and things of that nature. I'm not saying cause revolution, but to get some type of attention. And here's the problem. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to resort to an extreme act to get attention. But this is what happens when people don't listen to others and try to communicate. This is why they ignore people. Do you understand why? And then they say, well, this guy's obviously a troublemaker waving a gun in the air or doing something or trying to cause a ruckus. He's a troublemaker. He's trying to question authority. No, it's because you're not listening. You understand that you are the root of the problem. But you know what? I want to talk more about media, all right? Because NBC, yeah, all right? You have made this Olympics horrible. It is unbearable to watch. Now, first, before I start, I want to say shout outs to London. You guys, that ceremony was great. It was amazing. I was pleased. However, you guys over there let me know that we weren't getting the entire ceremony. Once again, when they're showing certain things and certain performances, we're seeing Bob Costas and Ryan Seacrest's face on TV talking about the athletes and their stories. I don't care. I don't care. Look, I understand that NBC, all right, that they paid a lot of money for Bob Costas and they paid a lot of money for Ryan Seacrest. But whose fault is that? That's your fault. I don't want to see them. And the thing is, they've done this way too much. They try to make these stories, and while the stories are going on, there's events going on. You guys, you messaged me saying, hey, are you watching Olympic boxing? No, because they're not showing it here, all right? And I can't turn the channel because it's only on one channel. That's the problem, all right? This is what happens when you have, sole custody or sole rights to the Olympics. You need to have it spread across different channels so that we can see different things. Instead, you want to hold things for prime time, and you want to do, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, there's been so much criticism towards NBC that now, check this out, and I'll put the link in the info bar. NBC is starting to contact Twitter and get accounts shut down because of criticism. That's right. There was a writer who was destroying NBC, and he had every right to, all right? He had every right to. But they got so upset, they contacted Twitter. Twitter acknowledged them and, obliged them. Shut down the guy's Twitter. Is this what it comes down to? Big-time companies getting pretty much butthurt over opinions? Is that what this comes down to? You have to be kidding me, NBC. If you did your job right, if you covered this the right way, wouldn't have that much of a problem. Now, I understand that you're going to show a U.S. bias. I understand that. We are in the U.S. I understand that. All right? I don't have a problem with that. But you could at least show sports. And you're not doing that. Like I said, you're showing stories, trying to get you want us to feel, a personal connection to the athletes. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I want to see sports. This is why you notice in other countries, they don't have all this drama and all this buildup. You don't need it, all right? This is the entertainment part of sports, and it has become sickening. You have to understand that, guys. It's horrible, all right? NBC should be ashamed of themselves. And I'll put it like this. The best two sports, all right? Three. Best three sports that I've seen so far. I know everyone likes gymnastics. Everyone likes, the swimming and all that. But at like 1 a.m. here, they'll show the kayaking, right? And the kayaking is funny because they'll have like the simulated hill of water coming down. The guy has to go through all these cones, and the guys on the kayaks always fall over, so it's hilarious. Women's handball. Yeah, I'm saying it. Women's hand. For those who did not see women's handball, these chicks are choking each other. They're kicking each other. They're throwing each other down on the ground. I didn't know handball was that serious. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm good. I need to see that more. And also, I'll put it like this. Horseback riding. For those who did not see 2 days ago, when the horses were jumping over the hurdles and the horses were falling and throwing the guys off the horse, the guy would fall like 5 feet away from the horse. And here's the thing. Here's the sad part. The people get up and they're checking on the horse to see if it's okay. Fuck the guy, the human who's laying on the ground hurt, all right? But let's go and see if the horse is okay. And the horse gets up with no problem. And then they go over to the guy, he's like, hey, yo, buddy, you all right? And the guy's like, he's holding his side, he's holding his head, and he's got his gear on, but he's holding all these things. It's like, you didn't even help him up. You were too busy worried about the damn animal than the human. It was ridiculous, but it was hilarious to see. Those have been my three best sports to watch, and honorable mention goes to water polo because they be trying to drown each other in water polo. It's hilarious. So, like I said, but you don't see those things until later at night. You know what I mean? Or, during the day on the weekend, they don't show anything. I don't want to see beach volleyball. The women, it's too cold there for the women to even be pretty much in their bikinis. So they gotta wear pants and things. I've seen you guys complain about that a lot on Twitter for some reason. But yeah, it's cold there. All right. The high one night was like 64. I mean, one day was 64, and then at night it got colder. So they were wearing pants and tank tops and things of that nature. So you have to understand, it's cold. All right, they're not gonna wear little bikinis, which we like to see us men, but you have to understand that. And the men, let me tell you something. The men are pathetic when it comes to volleyball, when it comes to beach volleyball. These dudes don't even jump. And the commentators are like, oh, he's got ups, he's got hops. No, he doesn't understand. They're like this. They're just tall. They're just tall. That's it. They're not even athletic, but yet they're gonna high five each other. I've seen so many, when I was watching one of the matches, there were so many net stuffs because these guys could not jump and get the ball over the net. It was ridiculous. And they're high fiving each other like, you didn't do anything. Like, I don't understand where this so-called athleticism comes from. I don't understand. You better go get some basketball players or something. You gotta be kidding me. If people around my way who are 5'7", 5'6" can jump and grab a rim that's at 11 feet, if not taller, depending on where park you play at, there is no reason why a guy who's 6'3", 6'4" can't jump and hit a ball over a net. It is ridiculous. But you know what? I want to move on to football because for those who have not seen it, Jerry Jones wants him some glory hole.
I think that's a part of leadership, is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole. So I have that perspective.
The best part about that is Jerry Jones' face. If you notice after he says it, he's looking at the media like, why is everyone laughing at me? Obviously, people in Dallas, you need to update Jerry Jones on his lingo. You just have to. It's hilarious. And I understand that a lot of people are mad at Dallas right now due to the fact that, they've come out and said a lot of things about, winning the Super Bowl. They're going to win. And a lot of people saying it's arrogant of them to say because they're overlooking giants, and I put it like this. I told you before, we just talked about this last week. You're supposed to have that confidence going in before the season. Was it the Panthers, North Carolina Panthers? You guys, your center came out, and I'll put it in the info bar. All right, your center came out and said that you're winning the Super Bowl this year. That you're going to win the Super Bowl this year. See, everyone thinks that they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's a sign of confidence. Now, I will put it like this. I do have to talk about this real quick. For those who don't know, Tennessee Titans wide receiver O.J. Murdock shot himself and killed himself out of depression, during training camp. Now, I was going to say the NBA. The NFL has said that from now on, they will have an NFL helpline to guide players, to get them out of this funk, of this depression. Now, here's the problem I have with that. Why the hell didn't you have this in the first place? I thought this was already established because they already have programs where mentors come in, from the past come in and talk to rookies before they, once they're signed, they have meetings and say, how to spend your money, how to act, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Don't get beside yourself and make sure that, you have, other things set up business-wise so that if you get hurt in the NFL and you can't play anymore, that you're still covered. They have mentors for this type of thing. So I automatically assume that they had a helpline for players who run into depression, especially for what we've seen after players leave the sport, and they're fucked up in the head, you know what I mean? And they start going on rampages. We've seen this time and time again. I thought the NFL had already taken care of this. Apparently not. And now a young man has killed himself because he couldn't handle the pressure of being an athlete. And it goes to show you it doesn't matter if you're playing pro sports, if you have all this money. The mind is fragile. All right, it can be fragile if you hit the right spots. Apparently, this guy could not take it, and it's sad to see that somebody would do that. Now, personally, there's another side of me that says, I really want to say, you're pussy, because you never kill yourself. You endure it and you move on. You get what I'm saying? That's what you do. And another side of me that says, I understand, because not everyone is strong enough. That's what it comes to. All right, guys? Anyways, also, Before I end this, I want to talk about the Eagles, all right? You Eagles fans, you've seen all the injuries. I don't understand this. It makes no sense to me when it comes to athletes, especially someone like Jason Babin, who is a loudmouth, all right? Always talks about how he's working on his body and he's in great tip-top physical shape, and then he goes down with a calf strain, calf pull, something like that, and he's out for 3 weeks. Look, there's worse injuries than what Babin has. But if you are this great body of Adonis and you're just this god among men, there's no way that you should be injured from something that simple. There's no way. As far as I'm concerned, these athletes on their off season do not take care of themselves, because if they did, we wouldn't see every team fall prey to injuries, especially the Eagles. We would not see this, all right? Because they're not even, at one point, they weren't even doing hitting drills yet. They weren't even putting on the pads and people were getting hurt. There were freak injuries like dislocated ankles and things of that nature. I understand that. But to say that, your calf or something like that, you're supposed to be the man. That's what you throw in people's faces, right? That you make all this money and that you got this great body and you constantly work out. You're supposed to be the man, right? And you wanted to run with the Bulls? I could only imagine if you'd have ran with the Bulls and strained your calf or something and got gored in the ass on TV. That would have been amazing to see. I'm sorry, but it would have. Anyways, I'm done for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.